So imagine this. You go to Olive Garden and order unlimited salad and breadsticks. It's lunchtime and rush hour, so the whole establishment is packed. The waiter brings out your breadsticks, and you start to eat them while waiting for your salad. Halfway through finishing the basket of breadsticks, the waiter comes to your table with the salad. He sets the bowl down onto the table and pulls out a cheese grater. "Would you like cheese on your salad, sir?" You oblige and tell him yes, and he starts grating the cheese onto the salad. "Tell me when to stop," he says, the generic waiter smile on his face. He's grating at a very fast pace, and you start to grow curious. What happens if I don't tell him to stop? You curiously watch him continue to move the handle, and at this point the cheese is starting to overflow from the bowl, yet the waiter is still working at a vigorous rate. The cheese is now spilled onto the table and then onto the floor, and the people around you are giving you worried looks, but you don't care. You've decided to see this through. The waiter, a smile still on his face, is working just as hard as before he started with no sign of fatigue. You look behind his back, and to your surprise, you see a line of Olive Garden waiters forming to bring even more cheese to the waiter. At this point, you start to get a little worried, as the cheese has now surpassed the height of your shoes with no signs of stopping. People begin to leave the restaurant, fearing for their safety, but you watch the show in awe. What may have once been a salad bowl on the table was now invisible under the giant mass of grated cheese. As the waiter continues to grate the cheese, he's showing signs of tiring. Is this his limit, you ask, thinking he was finally ready to give in? However, the waiters behind him slowly start walking to form an unholy circle around him, drawing on the floor with chalk. You watch in amazement as they start chanting, and the waiter grating the cheese starts glowing with raw power. He suddenly starts rotating the handle at inhuman speeds, grating cheese now flying everywhere around the restaurant. The workers around him rapidly start feeding the quickly disappearing blocks of cheese to the grater, almost like a sacrifice to their dark god. The waiter, now in an indescribable glowing shape, lets go of the cheese grater and starts floating, yet the grater keeps on grating the cheese, floating in front of him. The building starts to shake and the ceiling starts to crack, but you continue to watch. This is what you wanted, after all. The waiter, his neck starting to twist in circles, seems to be no longer satisfied in grating just cheese. However, the workers, with identical robotic waiter smiles on their faces, willingly accept their deaths and are consumed into the cheese grater. What was once cheese flying out of the grater is now tainted flesh, and you clap in glee as a dark storm starts to erupt within the restaurant. The singular waiter left outstretches his hands towards the sky, and the entire ceiling flies off into the air. You can visibly see volcanoes forming in the parking lot, spewing molten lava, and tornadoes ravaging the nearby buildings, all while you're still happily sitting in your chair and clapping. You start to see galaxies forming in the sky, the very cosmos with your own eyes. The waiter, still floating higher, has now ascended into the sky at breakneck speeds to spread the glory of the cheese grater to the entire world, all while you're still sitting untouched within what was once an Olive Garden. Sitting there, cheese, blood, and tears surrounded you and the entire restaurant, yet you are unfazed by all that has happened. You get a notification and check your phone, and you see the news of what has happened. Your friends and family are all texting and calling you, but you simply put your phone in your pocket. It's the end of the world, you're thinking, a smile still on your face. You start to take a casual stroll outside, and you survey your destroyed surroundings. You think about the power that you are currently holding. Just one word is all you need to stop the chaos around you. Stop. But why would you stop now, when you've gone this far down the rabbit hole? This is just too fun for you. You know for a fact you'll be unharmed in the aftermath of all this. After all, you're the one who started it all. But as you continue walking, you start pondering on what you really have done. The earth. Its trees, waters, and mountains, humanity, all of its progress, accomplishments, its history, all of it has been built up for millions of years, yet one Olive Garden order later, all of it has been undone. Is this really the right thing to do, you ask, now second-guessing yourself? The voice in the back of your head starts whispering to you. Really? You want to back out now? After all you've suffered, everyone you've killed, all you've destroyed? I don't think so, pal. You're going to live with this, and eventually you're going to relish it. Your head is starting to hurt. You can't think straight anymore. You start to scream, your body in agonizing pain. Tears are streaming down your face as you try to resist the negative feelings. You cry out one last time, and suddenly it all just stops. The pain, the fear, everything. You slowly stand back up and you feel nothing. No, you feel something. Something strange. Something dormant and pent up inside of you seems to have awakened. Your calm demeanor disappears and you start to form a sadistic smile on your face. They deserve it. They all deserve it. You start cackling to yourself. It's what they deserve! Every single one on this damn floating rock has taken everything from me! You yell suddenly. Revenge and hate is all I have. It's the only thing I need, you tell yourself. You start thinking back on what has been done to you. Society has spit in your face. You've been shunned, kicked down, rejected, yet all you've ever wanted was to be accepted. Your friends have exploited you for your kindness. Your family has abused you and then thrown you to the curb when you weren't useful to them anymore. All you've ever wanted was love and kindness. But all you've ever gotten was rejection. You don't care who you have to hurt. The whole world has to pay for letting you hurt like this. Everything you've suffered has led up to this point. It's all worth it. Right? No. You know it in your heart. There is no satisfaction in this. All you feel is a deep emptiness. You stand up, still sobbing, and look up to the sky. Your voice is unable to properly come out, yet you still manage to utter a single word while you close your eyes. Stop. You open your eyes once again, and you find yourself sitting in that same Olive Garden booth as before. But this time, everything is back to normal. You lift your head off the table you were apparently sleeping on, and you see the waiter walking towards you with your salad. He places the bowl on the table and pulls out the cheese grater. Would you like cheese on your salad, sir? He asks tentatively. You smile and gladly tell him, no, I'll be all right without it. He gives you a smile, then suddenly grabs your shoulder. Who said you had a choice? He yells out, and proceeds to grate the cheese like before onto the salad. Distressed, you try to grab the grater out of his hands, but he has an iron grip on it. This is your fate. You cannot change it, you fool, he tells you, and then suddenly the other workers rush out behind you and grab you, tying you to the chair. No, 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 this can't be happening again, you cry out, but the other workers, still smiling, gag you with an Olive Garden napkin as tears start to stream down your face. What have I done? You think to yourself, and you close your eyes as you feel cheese starting to envelop your body and hear the screams of the customers in the restaurant as they try to escape their inevitable. Stop! 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 You try to yell out, but you're unable to. Your eyes start to close, and as cheese is filling your nasal passages, you tell yourself to sleep. It's the only thing that can ease the pain. You slip out of consciousness, and then just like that, you die. Along with everyone else on Earth, you're part of an extinct species on a now cheese-covered planet. No longer inhabitable, and no longer recognizable. The singular waiter proceeds to fly into space to spread the contents of the cheese grater, and nobody will ever be able to stop him. Eventually, all of space will reach a state of infinite mass from all of the cheese. Planets themselves will be sacrifices to the cheese grater, and space will eventually blend and implode on itself, causing a black hole the likes of which nobody has ever seen before. Everything will be consumed, and everything will die. There is no future. Only Olive Garden cheese grater.